Hello everybody and welcome to the Ozan show. Today we are gonna talk a little bit about narration in games, and then if you're efficient we'll have time to make fun of Spider-Man before lunch, okay? Sound good? Here we go. I have a theory that there are two types of games. Number one's gamey games. You know, the type of game where you game the games to get better at the games, and then the games are like, well gamed epic gamer, game on. These games are all about jumping the gap, collecting the crate, shooting the thing, stacking the blocks. They fun. These games know that they are games, so they just keep being games, so simple folks like you and me can sit down with a hot coffee and enjoy them after a stressing day of the world ending. Then you have the immersive narrative games. The kind of games that go, oh no, this isn't a game. Don't think of it as a game. Imagine instead that you are this person in this situation we have presented you. Inhale the atmosphere and pretend you're an inhabitant of this carefully crafted world that we created with love and compassion. Sure, you can still jump and stab things, but it isn't because of a high score anymore. It's because your character, I mean you, are in great pain that only jumping and stabbing things or whatever the gameplay is will solve. So on gamey games, the character I'm playing and me, the player's goal, are different. Mario wants to save the princess. I don't give a two shits about the princess. I just want to survive this fucking level and maybe pick up some coins along the way. And that is fine. We make it work. Our goals coexist. On an immersive narrative game, however, my motivation as the player is the same as whoever I'm controlling. Leon wants to get the fuck out of Raccoon City cause it's riddled with zombies, and by Jesus' left testicle, so do I. Often, interactive narrative immersive experiences like to have some gamey bits thrown into them, which is fine too. Why not add some collectibles or time trials or other types of gamey game challenges that I can enjoy on my way to the next mission or after I'm done with the main story. But in a game where me and my character's goal is the same, these gamey bits will temporarily split our motivation. When I find a wobbly collectible thing in RE2 I'm supposed to shoot, I do it for the achievement. Leon couldn't give two shits about achievements, he's getting eaten by zombies. But that's fine. Once the gamey thing is done and the wobbly thing is shot, our motivations merge again. Usually games never address this split, but some games, they're starting to give it the old college try. The idea that by making the collectible thing also relevant for my character, our motivations will never split and my immersion will remain undisturbed. But it is dangerous ground, cause if the reason your character is interested in the collectibles and shit turns out far-fetched or stupid, well then mama, where did that immersion go? Can you imagine if I found one of those wobbly things in Resident Evil and Leon went, oh man, I have hated those wobbly things since my childhood. I know I'm running low on ammo, but shooting these will give me intense inner peace. No! That was shit on my immersion more than any badly written dialogue or bad voice acting ever could. Then you have Spider-Man, a game that is very nicely crafted as far as making me, dare I say it, feel like Spider-Man goes. There's an adequate typical Spider-Man story going on. Both me and Spider-Man wanna beat up whoever's messing with New York, and also moving around feels really nice. So naturally, the folks at Insomniac wanna present me some challenges next to the main story that can put my mobility and fighting skills to the test. And now there's a crucial moment, a choice they got to make as storytellers. Do we play it safe and don't address these gamey bits? Sure, doing some sort of a time trial challenge while New York is on fire might shit on the player's immersion, but what is the alternative? To try and bake these gamey bits into the story. Attempt to never split the players and Spider-Man's motivations. If it works, then great! You're as good as God of War! If it doesn't, then I'm gonna make fun of you. So since we're playing in a rather impressive recreation of New York, of course we're gonna have some collectibles. What are those collectibles, Spider-Man? I know you're too good to have just floating Spider-Man symbols, so what's the story behind these? Oh, they're backpacks. Okay, let's see what Spider-Man has to say about them.
One of my old backpacks from high school. Forgot I attached tracking dots to these. Wonder how many of these are scattered around the city.
Is one of your old backpacks from high school that you forgot about, is it, Spider-Man? And you're wondering how many you scattered around the city? 55! Jesus Christ, Spider-Man! Are you telling me Spider-Man, multiple jobs, always behind on rent, always broke Spider-Man, just fucking forgot about a new backpack every 3 weeks over the course of 3 years? He just forgot. He even says he has tracking dots on them. That he also forgot! How much does those cost? Tracking dots, sure. So it makes sense that you can see them on the map, the game says. Okay, how come I can see the pigeons on the map too then, Spider-Man? See, the more you try to address this shit, the less sense it makes. Also, Spider-Man is 23 in this game. For 5 fucking years those backpacks have been hanging there in New York. Some of them just behind dumpsters. No one touched them, did they, Spider-Man? There are also some research stations you got to deal with. They contain challenges like getting from A to B in a limited amount of time, or destroying stuff, or moving through a restricted area. They found 2. So the story is that Peter Parker's friend Harry has a bunch of high-tech research stations around New York, but he's away in Europe, so he's asking you to just check in on them while he's gone. Those research stations researching everything from smog levels in the air to fish diseases is weird enough, but that's not the dumb part. It's how the challenges are integrated into each one. See, Harry doesn't know Peter Parker is Spider-Man, so he's not gonna ask him to leap 100 meters in the air and do Spider-Man shit. He just asks him to empty the recycle bin and answer some emails and shit, but the second you show up, it turns out that the research station is having a meltdown, or that New York is on the brink of disaster, and Peter Parker has to deal with the problem within 5 minutes or everything is fact. Luckily, Peter Parker shows up just in time every time, and fuckily, he's also Spider-Man, so he can solve the problem by leaping 100 meters up in the air and doing Spider-Man shit. What if he wasn't Spider-Man, I wonder? New York would face disaster 17 times because there are 17 of these stations. It would be funny if at least one of them were just running smoothly and Spider-Man went, oh, okay, this one is fine. Cool. Also, Spider-Man is some fucking Mary Sue. One time he has to create a vaccine to cure some birds or something, and another time he invents a new goddamn breed of bacteria to get rid of plastic. I know he's supposed to be a genius and shit, but damn! Next to having a day job and volunteering at the homeless shelter and, oh yeah, being a goddamn superhero, how the hell does he have time to even learn all that shit? What else? The Taskmaster. So there's this bad guy that wants to test Spider-Man with a bunch of tasks because of some reason. I stopped paying attention at this point. And his tasks often involve arming a bunch of bombs that Spider-Man has to defuse before they go off. So it's a time trial thing. But how the hell do you expect me to buy this premise? He only arms the bombs when Spider-Man shows up and is like, okay, I'm ready, Mr. Taskmaster. Arm those bombs and I will try to defuse them as fast as I can. Why the hell does Spider-Man show up to these things? He even says shit like, I refuse to participate in your sick games, Taskmaster, but I guess I have to. Then, if you get like bronze or a silver medal, he goes, I'm sure I can do that better if I try again. That's it. Spider-Man has gone nuts. Everybody go home. Then there are the pigeons I mentioned earlier. Again, it's a cool challenge. They're like a collectible that you need to chase down. But the story behind them is that you're catching them for homeless Johnny, because without his pigeons, he'll be sad. So here I am, military fascists have taken over the city, paranormal ninjas are killing everyone, aliens are nibbling on everyone's grandparents, and Spider-Man goes, ooh, there's one of those pigeons. Better spend some time catching that for all homeless, teethless, pigeonless Johnny. Next up, we got the Catwoman, the black cat collectible thing. That one is the only one that kinda makes sense. She has hidden a bunch of cat figurines in New York City, and if you find them, she might tell you who she's thinking of robbing. Classy batshit crazy comic book villain plot. And the payoff of that storyline is nice too. Also, I haven't played the Black Cat DLC, but I'm sure it's awesome. The game has some other flaws, but whatever, I won't address them because I really liked the game. It was just the narration behind the optional stuff, and also, by the way, the parts where you play as not Spider-Man that grinded my gears a little bit. So yeah, that's it. What did we learn? If you have gamey bits in your narrative game, you can either play it safe and never address them, which is okay, or you can address them and it turns out amazing and I'm ultra immersed, or you can address them and it turns out kinda crap and I'm unimmersed forever. I do appreciate what the narrative design team of Spider-Man tried to achieve here. I don't want to hate on the game or anything, but it did turn out kinda stupid, and what is the internet for if we can't make fun of stuff that is kinda stupid? Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next BB Bobby Booby. Bye bye.